Hi guys, so I'm here with Cristina Zenato in Grand Bahama. I went on the shark dive yesterday. It was incredible. I wanted to ask you some questions. When did you know that you wanted to do this with the sharks? Like, how did you know?
I was 8 years old.
Wow.
And I saw a movie about a guy who had sharks for friends. And so I decided I will be the next one who will have sharks for friends. So it was very much a childhood dream to be able to play with them and be with them. And obviously it was a childhood dream put in a drawer for many, many years till I came here when I was 22. And I saw my mentor, Ben Rose, diving with them and playing with them. And I was just like, oh, maybe I can do this too. And so under his mentorship, I basically started working with the sharks.
Wow, that's incredible. So the catatonic, were you the first one that did it?
No, not necessarily just the first one. I mean, Ben started it.
Okay.
But we were right at the beginning. The difference is that many people have done what is called tonic immobility.
Okay.
Where you can flip the shark upside down and put it really in a tonic state.
Okay.
Which is an altered situation of the shark, of the animal. What I do is a gentle patting of the shark. So the shark doesn't really go into tonic immobility. It just relaxes into my lap.
Exactly.
And one of the things you may notice is actually it relaxes, and at the same time it can get out of it very quickly. So it's not tonic immobility.
Okay, yeah, because you were the first one I discovered that did that.
There's a scientific tonic immobility in which the sharks respond with stress or threat, and so it goes a really, really altered situation. You can even do surgery on the shark. You can really do some deep intervention on the animals. And scientists have used this in aquariums or also in the wild. Dr. Gruber is very much known for actually using that to implement satellite tags into the lemon sharks.
Okay.
What I do is more allow the sharks to come in and want to be pet. So it's more a relationship.
Yeah.
It doesn't always happen. It's not forceful, and it's definitely not a reaction to stress or threat. So a lot of people say, oh, what you're doing is bad for the sharks. They alter their heart rate or anything like that. But as you've seen on the dive,
they love it.
The shark comes in, wants to be pet, and then when the shark is done, takes off and then comes back whenever it's ready. And nothing changes. It's not that it slows down or you have to help it swimming or anything like that. So it is a personal relationship that we develop with the sharks.
I noticed that they're like dogs. When you touch their nose, and then they like it. And
and there's sharks that like it and sharks that don't like it.
Okay.
There's people that can do it and people that cannot do it because it is a relationship. And so from that point of view, I was one of the first. From a scientific point of view, people say, oh, that's tonic immobility. And I tell them, no, it's not.
Okay.
It's a huge difference.
Huge difference. Hear that? Huge difference. This is a question I have for you.
Okay.
When they make a movie about you, and they will, who would you want to play your part? Who would you want to be you in the movie?
Wow, that's a tough question. But one of my favorite actresses is actually Ashley Judd.
I love Ashley Judd.
I don't know we have the same personality, but
I think she could play you. I think she could.
That's an interesting question.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think it will happen, but...
Oh, I think it definitely will happen. It needs to happen. If I could do it, I would do it right now. Feature film about your life.
I see.
And I'm serious. So when you went to China and you were giving awareness about the shark finning and all that, do you feel that it's helping?
I've been involved with shark conservation for quite a while. We're very lucky in the Bahamas. The sharks are not part of the regular consumption and hunting of the Bahamians. And so it was almost easy to convince the Bahamians to embrace protecting and conserving sharks. But I've also been asked to be an ambassador for sharks around the world. I very much believe in being invited somewhere.
Okay.
So I've been invited in Singapore and I've been invited in China, which are the hubs of a shark fin soup and shark commerce. I think it is important. I do believe, I always say one person counts. Maybe I can't change the world and I can't change perception of everybody, but for each person that I can touch, I can have a contribution. So the two campaigns I've been part of is I'm Finished with Fins campaign, which was a Wild Aid Shark Savers campaign in Singapore. And there's a second time in China, it was a little bit more of a light-hearted program. It was called Extreme Challenge.
Okay.
I was invited to basically be challenged to put a shark to sleep and keep it in the palm of my hand for 1 minute. but it was the #1 TV program watched in China on Prime TV.
Wow.
And is watched by millions and millions of average Chinese families. The same families that want to consume shark fin soup. The catch was that during the program, the 3 Chinese celebrities, of which were supposed to judge my work, actually, each one of them talked and highlighted the need of protecting sharks. So it went from being, yes, a little bit of a extreme challenge, a silly program, but we really latched on and we really organized it so that the celebrities will promote shark conservation. So I showed them the video of me removing the hooks.
Yeah.
I brought them my hooks. I gave them a gift of the hooks. And each one of them, there was a singer, a presenter, and a famous military person, really emphasized as Chinese people how important it was to protect sharks.
That is so good.
Yes. So the video that came out, the one on this post, only shows the little challenge, but the entire TV program, I received a lot of positive comments from people saying, wow, that was really informative, that was really good, it was really good for Chinese people to see
Exactly.
the sharks need conservation. So
Oh, that makes me so happy because I know they're big with the shark fin soup.
it is a contentious issue. It's very difficult because it is a traditional way of being. So it's very hard to say, don't do this, it's wrong. Who am I to do that? But it was very good. Like I said, I love to be invited because that means it comes
Smart.
from within the people to want to change something within their country.
Instead of forcing.
Instead of forcing, and it's also done indirectly. It was like, hey, look, this is what we do with sharks. This is why we love them so much. By the way, did you know this? Because sometimes people don't know, don't understand. The ocean is so far away from so many people. And what's hidden below the surface, people don't see. So it's very difficult to connect with something that we can't physically see nor physically touch. So we are an animal that needs that kind of connection, whatever is visual or whatever is tactile. So I think it was a good way to reach the public.
That's amazing.
It's a little step.
It is.
It's a first step.
It's a big step. I mean, that's good. That's amazing.
I think the most amazing thing is that Chinese people invited me in China.
That alone.
That means that alone shows that there is a stream of people that do realize the importance of protecting sharks. And there's such amazing people out there. I work with this incredible person. One of my favorites, his name is John Benedict Liu.
Okay.
And he works tirelessly on, against shark finning campaigns, and I was involved in all their conservation campaigns. It's just amazing behind the scene person.
Oh, that's
And
amazing.
he really, really cares. So there's an amazing background of people that support shark conservation. Why don't you tell me or us about
Okay.
your experience? Because you are one of those. You'd seen the video, so you were already a little bit knowledgeable, but you've never been really there, and now you've been there.
Yes.
How did it feel?
It felt amazing. I didn't want to come up. I want to go down today. I want to be with them every day. I've always loved sharks and had a passion for them and get very upset about all that stuff, that people killing sharks and all that stuff. And I discovered your videos on YouTube a while ago, and I was fascinated by it. And I would show everybody, and everybody's like, oh my God, because people don't know or care to know. And then when I show them, anyways, then I found you on Twitter. So when I did the dive, everyone's like, you're crazy, you're so crazy, they're gonna eat you, and you're gonna be so scared. And it was the most, I love them. It was amazing, life-changing, really. I mean,
and you're one, but you're one that may talk to 10, who may talk to 10, who may talk to 10, and that how it multiplies. How
I just
the
did
message
it
goes
yesterday,
out.
and I've already told I'm blasting it on social like a crazy lady.
Yeah.
But you're right.
So one person counts. It might not be perfect. I know we feed sharks and I know we touch sharks. But sometimes when people complain about that, I tell them, you know what, I feed 20 sharks and I touch a couple of sharks, they're alive, they're healthy, they're protected. Exactly. If that's a big concern, really, we haven't understood what the concern is about conservation. Because maybe we should be worried more about the hundreds of millions of sharks are killed every year. We should be worried about long lining and trawling rather than somebody feeding and touching 20 healthy sharks
Exactly.
in the Bahamas, in a country that protects them.
Thank you.
It's just point of view.
So I heard you call your dog a land shark. Why is that?
Because she's a pit bull.
Okay.
She's adopted. She actually adopted me. She showed up on my door and started to cry. And I opened the door and she was in front of it like this walking skeleton with skin problems, eye problems, ear problems, you name it, she had it. And I've never been afraid of dogs. I love dogs. And I have the same attitude towards any animal. I do believe that animals do not reflect our emotions. So it's not that an animal is vicious or aggressive, or it's just an animal. And so I color the land shark because when people see her, they react the same way as when I say shark.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, is she aggressive?
Yeah.
Is your dog going to bite me?
Yeah.
And it's like, no, she's not. So I try to use Mia, her name is Mia,
Oh, that's beautiful.
to educate people about, again, perception. And rather than just believing in what you hear, is actually learn about it and experience it for yourself. Most pit bull owners and most people that love pit bulls will tell you that it's one of the sweetest dog ever, but it's perception. And it's really funny that I find myself defending Mia on the surface as much as I defend sharks on the water, and getting sometimes a little bit annoyed.
I would,
People's attitude
Yeah.
due to their lack of knowledge. So I try to educate them on both. And I really do believe that pit bulls have this undeserved name
I agree.
as much as sharks.
I agree.
They're just animals. They're just dog.
I say the same exact thing about pit bulls.
I love pit bulls. And her
So do I.
nickname is Patata, which means potato, because she's a patata.
When we were on Skype, you said you'll always be known as the Shark Lady. So what other things besides the Shark Lady?
The Shark Lady covers quite a lot because I teach the shark awareness courses. I give presentations. I also allow people to do the shark handling course. So you can actually wear the chainmail and come down with me and learn about being with the sharks and handling the sharks. I even train at a professional level. But I'm also a cave diving instructor. And personally, I'm a cave explorer. But I teach cave diving. I teach gas diving, which is nitrox and decompression, which goes with cave diving. So what I call a technical instructor. And I'm also a recreational instructor all the way to a course director. So I can actually train instructors. I love to train professionals.
Wow.
So I train dive masters, assistant instructors, and instructors. So my diving range is pretty wide. But my favorite fields is sharks, caves, and then training in general.
Wow, you're amazing.
That's what I did. I dedicated my lifetime to the water, and that's what I specialize, is basically being a trainer for what you can do in the water.
That's amazing. Is there a certain type of shark that you wanted to dive with and work with and that you haven't, or have you tried them all?
I've dived with about 12 different species. I'm a firm believer that one size does not fit all. It means what I can do with Caribbean reef sharks does not necessarily have to be translated into trying it or wanting it to do, let's say, with bull sharks or tiger sharks or great whites. I'm not here to prove anything to anybody. The Caribbean reef sharks is the right size. You have the right protection to have that kind of interaction. Would I want to dive with certain other species of sharks? Absolutely. I want to go back in the water with whale sharks.
Oh, wow.
I would love absolutely to be involved, to see the goblin shark, just because it's such a unique, weird creature. But not necessarily, I don't think I want to do this with other sharks. I may want to free dive with some, work a little bit more with blue sharks, but not necessarily have to do what I do with the Caribbean.
Gotcha.
For each shark, there's a different kind of interaction, and for each shark, I think there's also different kind of positioning, kind of handling or lack of handling, just due to the circumstances and also the size of the animal. So you can easily go in a bikini snorkeling with a whale shark.
Yeah.
Maybe you shouldn't be doing that with tiger sharks, or maybe you shouldn't be doing that with great whites or anything like that. You know, for each shark, there's a different way to position yourself and do things with.
How can people find more about you and your website and stuff like that?
Well, I'm everywhere with my full first name, full last name. So it's Cristina Zenato without the H.
Without the H.
CRISTINAZENATO. And so my website is www.CristinaZenato.com. My Facebook is Cristina Zenato. So is my Twitter, and so is my Instagram. So I don't have nicknames or anything.
Perfect.
It's easy to find me. So
CristinaZenato.com. It's on the screen. Check it out. You will be amazed. I love this woman.